Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Report, where we dive into the fascinating stories behind cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Today, we're talking about one of the most iconic moments in Bitcoin's history, a story that's become legendary in the crypto world. Yes, we're talking about the Bitcoin pizza guy. Who is he? How did the famous transaction happen? And what's the story behind those Bitcoin pizzas worth millions today? Stick around, because this is a story you don't want to miss. The Bitcoin pizza guy is none other than Laszlo Hanyecz, a Florida-based programmer who made history on May 22, 2010. Why is he so famous? Well, Laszlo was the first person ever to use Bitcoin in a real-world transaction. This moment marked a milestone for Bitcoin, proving that the cryptocurrency could have practical use beyond just being mined or traded. Laszlo was a Bitcoin enthusiast and an early adopter of the technology. At the time, Bitcoin was still in its infancy. It had only been introduced in 2009 by its mysterious creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, and its community was small but growing. Laszlo played a significant role in the Bitcoin community, contributing to its development and mining early Bitcoin blocks. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin had no real monetary value back then. In fact, it was more of an experiment, a vision for decentralized money that didn't rely on banks. Laszlo wanted to change that. He wanted to prove that Bitcoin could be used as a medium of exchange for everyday purchases. And that's where the pizza comes in. So how did the transaction go down? On May 18, 2010, Laszlo posted on a Bitcoin forum, offering 10,000 Bitcoins to anyone who would deliver him 2 large pizzas. Yes, you heard that right, 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. His exact words were, "I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. Maybe 2 large ones so I have some left over for the next day." At the time, 10,000 Bitcoins were worth roughly 41. It took a few days, but on May 22nd, a fellow Bitcoin enthusiast named Jeremy Sturdivant, also known as Jerkos on the forum, took Laszlo up on his offer. Jeremy ordered 2 large pizzas from Papa John's and had them delivered to Laszlo's home in exchange for 10,000 Bitcoins. And just like that, the first ever Bitcoin transaction for a physical good was made. To this day, May 22nd is celebrated as Bitcoin Pizza Day, a reminder of how far Bitcoin has come. Now here's where things get crazy. Fast forward to today, and those 10,000 Bitcoins are worth an astronomical amount of money. As of December 2024, 1 Bitcoin is valued at approximately $100,000. That means 10,000 Bitcoins would be worth around $1 billion. To put that into perspective, Laszlo essentially spent millions of dollars on 2 pizzas. It's a mind-blowing thought, but remember, at the time, Bitcoin had little to no value. Laszlo has said in interviews that he doesn't regret the transaction. For him, it was never about the money. It was about proving that Bitcoin could be used as real money. So what happened to the 2 people involved in this historic transaction? Let's start with Laszlo. He continued to be involved in the Bitcoin community for years, contributing to its development and mining even more Bitcoins. However, Laszlo eventually moved on to other ventures in programming and technology. In interviews, he's expressed pride in being part of Bitcoin's history, even if it means being known as the guy who spent millions on pizza. Laszlo's story serves as a reminder of Bitcoin's humble beginnings and the risks taken by early adopters. As for Jeremy Sturdivant, the man who delivered the pizzas, he didn't hold on to the 10,000 Bitcoins for long. At the time, Jeremy saw the transaction as a fun way to participate in a growing community, not as an investment. He used the Bitcoins to pay for other goods and services, which was the whole point of Bitcoin back then, to be spent, not hoarded. The Bitcoin pizza story has become a symbol of Bitcoin's journey from an experimental idea to a global phenomenon. It's a reminder of how much things have changed in just over a decade. Back in 2010, Bitcoin was a niche technology with no real value. Today, it's a multi-trillion-dollar asset class that's reshaping finance and technology. Laszlo's transaction also highlights the importance of adoption. Without people like Laszlo willing to use Bitcoin for everyday transactions, it might never have gained the credibility it needed to grow. So what can we learn from the Bitcoin pizza guy? First, it's a story of vision and experimentation. Laszlo wasn't afraid to take a leap of faith and prove that Bitcoin could be used as real money. Second, it's a story of perspective. While it's easy to focus on the value of those 10,000 bitcoins today, the true value lies in what the transaction represented, a stepping stone in Bitcoin's journey to global adoption. And finally, it's a reminder of how far we've come. Bitcoin has gone from being worth fractions of a cent to becoming a global store of value and a potential future currency. It's stories like these that keep the crypto world exciting and unpredictable. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the Bitcoin pizza guy and the first real-world Bitcoin transaction, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our deep dives into crypto history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay curious and keep learning.